Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Sam, and the IMAA board for inviting us to have a bit of a chat about research and insights. It's been quite interesting actually sitting through all the presentations and the real focus on not only the data that we already have, but also the ambitions to actually get better data and better reporting into what we're doing around the media space. Phil Zara, who's up here with me, Phil's actually going to take us through probably 2/3 of the presentation, and we've only got 10 minutes, so it'll be a quick run through. But first, ground control. We're actually a data agency supporting the client and also the agency space in regards to AI-enabled technologies to deliver, I suppose, more timely insights and better insights into the actual marketplace. So there we go. That's the first slide. So I don't want to labour the point about GWI because many of you probably already know, but GWI as a platform, it's a global platform. Around about 40,000 attributes are actually measured across 47 different countries. And one of the interesting things within the actual platform in Australia, we actually monitor up to about 2,000, 3,000 brands. And that's been ongoing for quite a few years. The platform itself, it's a simple to use, easy to get into, and really what it does, and it's been discussed as well, is about democratizing insights. GWI allows you to do that very, very quickly and actually embed insights into your business. As we've got around, as we've had discussions with agencies, these are the couple of the challenges that have actually been thrown up, and we've built on out of the data we have available and also some of the research that GWI has actually undertaken globally. We've seen some of these sort of challenges. Speed of consumer behaviour change, and that's been touched on by I think many of the presenters, in particular over the last 2 years with COVID. We've seen an acceleration in media consumption in different areas, changes in the way people are even shopping and engaging with brands online. Cost of doing business has gone up, retention of staff, investing in staff, training of staff. We're seeing that increase in particular over the last 12 months. And also in-housing of agency functions. I was discussing this morning with a couple of the agencies and also this not so much tension, but now the desire and the need to actually align sort of the insights offering within an agency with the emerging insights offering within the client side. And also this alignment of understanding. Resourcing staff retention and skills development is another challenge that we're seeing coming up time and time again. And campaign response times, the brief of, hey, we've got a campaign coming out within pretty much, within the next week, and how do we actually respond with the right data, the right insights, and also being able to sign that off fairly quickly. And also it's been touched on as well, cookies, the changing cookie environment as well. And moving beyond transactional into strategy. And I think this is a really interesting space for indies to actually play, is actually holding more of the strategy and how that actually expands right across, not from just media, but into other parts of the client space. So that just gives a bit of a snapshot of we see some of the challenges coming up. I'm going to hand over to Phil, and we're going to touch on what we're seeing coming up, not only this year, but actually going into 2023 from an insights and a data perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's have a look at the year ahead. And I think there's a really key thing here, a differentiation, a nuance between being data-led versus data-driven. So data-driven is very kind of responsive and reactive to what's going on. Being data-led is about understanding the data, understanding the insights, and letting that really kind of lead you and your clients into a kind of a better positions from a communications point of view. So it enables you to be a lot more kind of strategic and have these kind of deeper relationships with clients. And a really critical thing is that if you hold the strategy, you hold the value for the client. So you can move beyond that kind of transactional media kind of relationship and think about deeper ways that you can leverage those insights and the data that you got about the consumers and the audience of those clients and have a kind of much richer, commercially as well as kind of intellectually stimulating relationship with clients. And this kind of idea of democratization of data is really critical. And we, John just touched on the need for kind of rapid responses in this dynamic environment that we're in with changing media landscape, changing consumer behaviors. We're certainly not seeing clients giving us any more time for a brief or for a pitch. And so the ability to be able to dive into the data and extract insights out in a very quick way is very, very beneficial, and particularly in a challenging environment where we don't have buckets of resources kind of hanging around, and the ability to be able to have an easy-to-use platform where virtually anybody on the team can dive in and pull out something really insightful is super critical. So that kind of speed to insights and being able to leverage that data across kind of multiple different kind of campaign facets is super critical. And then from an alignment point of view, like making sure that you're on the same page with the client, so you can easily share those insights, you can create great charts, you can get the data out and make sure that, particularly in an environment where these clients are increasingly in-housing what they're doing from a research and data point of view in other agency functions, being able to get that kind of shared understanding about what's going on is also going to be kind of critical for success for indie agencies. And as a former chief data officer, this is very challenging for me to say, is that you can have kind of too much data. And clearly this is the slightly pre-edited version which didn't have the typo fixed on it, so apologies for that. But you can have too much data, and there's a lot of crappy data out there and people making decisions on data without thinking about the insights. So, the ability of a platform to be able to bring all this data in a way that everyone can tap into it but easily get to the insights, because it's the insights that is going to be driving results, kind of not the data itself. And then I think a thing that we've seen kind of increasingly talking to indies is the clients are helping them drive outside of these borders. So this big changing landscape and this change in behavior, we're seeing a lot more companies who are being born international and pursuing new opportunities across markets. And so from an indie agency point of view, the ability to be able to tap into data and audience behaviors, consumer behaviors beyond just our shores and understand what's happening in Singapore and Hong Kong, in the US and the UK, even just across the ditch in New Zealand is really, really important. And so that ability to be able to go international along with your clients enables you to essentially extend that kind of commercial relationship, but also find new opportunities in other markets as well. Alrighty, so that was our very short and sweet kind of presentation. Any questions at all, please reach out. Both of us will be around kind of afterwards for some lunch and drinks, and we hope to meet some more of you then. Thank you very much.